Hi investigators, Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy, and today we are going to be looking at the really valuable nationally recognised qualification Diploma of Government Investigations. Now, what is the Diploma of Government Investigation about? Do you need this as a licensed private investigator in Australia? What will you be doing if you study, complete and graduate from the Diploma of Government Investigation program, and a whole lot more. But first, we want to have a look at the general overview of the qualification. And I'll talk you through it as we go. So you can study the Diploma of Government Investigation, Workplace Inspection, Statutory Compliance or Fraud Control at the Australian Security Academy. Now, over 3,000 others have done just that. When you study the Diploma of Government Investigation, you are studying to become a manager of investigations within a local, state or federal government department. As a manager, you'll be coordinating the work of investigators who hold the certificate for underneath you, and they will be reporting to you on concurrent investigations. So you have the responsibility with the Diploma of Government Investigation in a management position of coordinating multiple investigations, and you'll be coordinating those with the Australian Federal Police, with the local police, with the Immigration Department, with DHS and Centrelink, or Border Force Protection, Tax Office. It could be any combination of other government agencies. You'll be sitting down at the boardroom table with them, one investigation at a time, and discussing what's happened, where it's going, and what your investigators are going to do next. So some of your investigations, they will be very large investigations into bikie gangs or outlaw motorcycle gangs as they're known. They could be against the mafia, they could be against other criminal organisations, or just people who are coordinated and working together to defraud the government. Some of those investigations will go on for 3, maybe 4 years, and you'll be having little anniversary parties for them. So these types of investigations that you'll be managing are very important to the Australian law enforcement, and you're going to be a big part of ensuring the safety of Australians around the country. If you hold the diploma, fantastic, this is live. We'll just get rid of that. If you hold the Diploma of Government Investigation, you're going to be a manager within a government department. Now, do you need this qualification if you're a licensed private investigator? Now, the answer to that is where you're at in the life cycle of your career. Now, if you're a beginner private investigator, no, you do not need a Diploma of Government Investigation. But if you've been running your own investigation agency now for 6, maybe 10 years, and you're winning government contracts and you want to win other government contracts, whether it's for WorkSafe, Transport Accident Commission, the Motor Accidents Insurance Board, or the Motor Accidents Insurance Corporation, Green Slip CTP liability, government departments such as that, when you tender to win their work, holding that diploma and being the principal of your investigation agency will add value to your application and to your tender. So what it's saying to those government departments, that your organisation, which is a investigation organisation is not a government department, but the principal of the organisation holds the qualification that the manager of investigations does within that government department. And they appreciate that. They like that. That gives them a valuable reason to select you to win their tender. It might not always be on price. Sometimes when you add in qualifications and experience, these go in your favour. And that is why throughout Australia you see government departments that do tender out work to investigation agencies have a range of different investigation agencies doing that work. There are investigation agencies doing that work that just do supermarket style, get them in and get them out investigations. They're very quick, they're very low price, they're very low hourly rates, there's a lot of work in it. And then there are your more specialist investigations that are higher priced, much higher rates, and they go on longer, and it's very specialised fraud work or very specialised psychological injury work, that sort of thing. So by holding that diploma, you're saying to the government department, we understand how you manage investigations. We can do that too. We hold the qualification. With the diploma, that means you, as the holder of it, have a breadth and depth of operational options open to you and an understanding of how to go about putting the investigation together. So you'll be coordinating those investigations within a government department, and say not as a private investigator, but if you're working in a government department, it could be a shipment of drugs from South America via Fiji into Melbourne. And that shipment of drugs got through, it passed and nobody found it. But where it came to light, there was 3 people in a car park in Coles in Sunbury smashing darts, and they got busted by the local cops. Now, you look at that and you think, I have no understanding of what smashing darts is, but believe me, the diploma holder of a government investigation qualification will know what that means, because they have the breadth, the depth and the level of understanding required to do that drug investigation right back to its source, with all the players all the way through right down to the end users smashing darts in the car park at Coles in Sunbury. So it's important that you have that level of sophistication and understanding, but also that street level understanding as well. So I cannot recommend it more highly. If you do go on and study the Diploma of Government Investigation, it will assist you to win tenders in the future. But the primary aim of studying it is to become a manager of investigations within a government department. And this week at the Australian Security Academy, like any other week at the Australian Security Academy, with my dog barking at the postman in the background, 5 people will enrol and start studying this course from Darwin to Hobart, from Perth to Sydney and Melbourne, and they are already working within a government department. Now, some of them will study workplace inspection. Now, these people have a role where for WorkSafe they go out and they inspect things like a train derailment where a fatality has occurred, which happened recently in Victoria just this week, and there were 2 fatalities. Or they might just go on and specialise in fraud control. And these people will know how to conduct investigations into internal and external fraud against a government department. Now, every federal government department must have a person that holds a Diploma of Government Fraud Control within that department. It is a safety measure, a risk management measure for government departments federally throughout Australia. So they hold the diploma because they require that at Centrelink, they require that at the tax office, they require that in the Treasury Department. Whether it's local, state or federal doesn't matter, they have to have that qualification to be a manager. So, great qualification. It's nationally recognised. At the Academy we have been teaching it for 18 years, and the people that graduated from that program 18 years ago are now in management roles in government. They send us students on a monthly basis to study their certificate for and their diploma at the Australian Security Academy now. And that rolls on from 17 years ago and 16 years ago, and it just keeps going. Why does that happen? Because these people require that training. They require good, solid training. This isn't just an RTO where you go go to them and say, oh, I wore a uniform in the army and I was a corporal and I was at Puckapunyal, here's a diploma of government investigation. No, we don't do that. We make our students study it. When the government agency sees the Australian Security Academy's name on that certificate, they know this student has studied it and they have met the requirements and they are going to have an understanding of management of investigations in government. So that is the Diploma of Government Investigation. Has several different streams and it depends on where you want to go. My firmest advice is study the Diploma of Government Investigation and then look at later on going to fraud control or workplace inspection after that. Get the government investigation one first, it's more widely applied. Originally, it was just simply fraud control, but government departments went to ASQA and went to their employers and said, we need more than just managing fraud because there are other things that aren't fraud that we investigate. And these could be bullying and harassment, they could be workplace safety issues. Those things don't fall under the umbrella of fraud. So the government investigation diploma falls more applicable and more widely across several different areas. So if you want to set yourself up for a great career in government and management in the future, or you just want to, as a private investigator, build your organisation up to where you compete for government work and win government tenders, then the Diploma of Government Investigation is the solution for you. It's a great qualification. You'll never regret holding it. We have a lot of success from our students in gaining work. And if you look at the jobs that are advertised out there, the management level jobs, they're the ones that require government investigation. When you just see investigator in a government investigation job vacancy, they just want the certificate for. When you see manager, it means diploma. So think of it like this. Diploma of Government Investigation is chief, directing the work of certificate 4 holders, Indians, right? And they go out and do all the work and report back to the chief. So the diploma holder is a coordinator. They coordinate with other government agencies and departments. As I said previously, the police, the Australian Federal Police, the Immigration, Border Force Protection, Centrelink, Tax Office, Treasury. They're all in it together. They all meet regularly on those investigations and they coordinate them right through to taking the brief of evidence and the suspects to court, prosecuting them and having them jailed. So Diploma of Government Investigation, great qualification. I hope that gives you some insights into it. Think of it as building your future as a manager. Some people go out and study business management. This is the business management qualification for investigators. I'm Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy, and that was the Diploma of Government Investigation.